Welcome to another video at the Organic Roads Allotment. So today it is very cold. I can hardly speak, but there's always something to do at the allotment. So let's start off with our quick update on our garlic and onion that we put in around, I would say around the 10th to the 15th of December. Okay, so starting at the gate, we got a bed here, and as you can see, the garlic are doing really well in here. So I would say they're about, estimating about 5 to maybe 8, maybe 10 centimeters, some of them. So that's really good progress. The ground is sort of semi-frozen, not too wet. So I'm hoping that those garlics will do very well. These are the ones that we put in around sort of, I would say just before Christmas. So they're also doing very well and all coming up. So if we move in, we can see that they are coming up and about maybe 2 to 3 centimeters. You might not be able to see it from the video because the lighting is so bad today, but all of the ones that have been put in, I can see that all the lines are coming up nicely. Okay, let's not dwell on that one. Let's move on past this bed number 1 from the gate. Okay, we've got this, and this went in toward the end of November. As you can see, these garlic are doing really well. Okay, those are way more than 10 centimeters. And this went in after, I think around the 15th of December as well. And they're also doing very well. Right, let's continue. On our left here, there is a bed that has gone in toward the end of November, and again, this garlic is doing really well. We got some nice organic yellow onions here, and they are all up and doing well as well. On my right, if I pivot around, there's 2 beds here. These were late. I put this in, I think I put this in after Christmas really, or maybe just around Christmas. And these are the red onions. So let's keep an eye on those. They are nicely up. This bed here has garlic and some sort of elephant garlic organic seeds that I got. And to be honest, it's a bit slow. I can see from the lines that I've created where I put the bulbs that all of them are up. However, they're not doing as well as the one that I've put in later than these ones. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I might need to fill in some of the gaps just in case not all of them comes up. But even though some of them are late, I can now see there's little shoots just starting to come up, and as you can see, some of them can hardly be seen from a distance. That's the only bed in my whole allotment over there that I haven't actually put anything to it. I'm trying to improve the soil quality of this bed, so I put in a lot of organic manure and mulch on top of that. And on this little part here, I've even added some used coffee beans. So if I could actually get more of those, I will happily add them to my allotment, because yeah, they're frozen now, but the quality that they add to the soil is really good. So at this point in time, the aim is really to improve the soil quality in the allotment, and also I'm looking at recycling as much of the material that I've used last year for the next season. So let me just put the camera down. So what I'm talking about is things that I've used. So let me just quickly get a handful of some of the items that I've used, because obviously at the beginning of the season, and obviously I'm talking about once we get to March, April, and we're getting a lot of stuff coming up, you quickly find that you don't have enough strings, enough clips. So this is some of the clips that I've actually bought. I bought this last season, and what I've noticed is these are really, really good because I can reuse this. So you clip them together to close them around the plant, and let's say some of the canes that you put to support the plant. So it's a good example. Let me just turn the camera to, let's say, these greens here. I can put a clip nicely around the plant and the cane here, and these are really, really strong. I've used them already the whole season, and they still look in really, really good condition. So I'm going around my allotment, making sure that there are none left anywhere. So in that case, I'm sticking to the sort of sustainability methods to try and make sure that everything I use can either be reused or recycled in some way. Okay, so the next little thing that I want to actually look at is how has my leftover chilies, how are they faring? I'm not holding out any hope, but I just wanted to check to see whether the temperature in this polytunnel can sustain overwintering of peppers and chilies. I reset this when I left last time, and today it is saying that the highest temperature was 36.2, but the lowest was -6.2. So that is definitely low enough to have killed every single plant or every single chili that I've actually left in here to overwinter. So let's take a look. I'm already seeing signs of extreme frostbite. And we've started an experiment around sort of the end of season where we cut down our chilies, and we're going to see how far we can try and overwinter them within this polytunnel. There's a hole at the end of the polytunnel, one there, one at the door, because obviously this polytunnel got really, really hot in the summer. So what I wanted to see is, would these chilies and peppers survive, and what temperature would it get to here? So I put in a polytunnel thermometer in here, and I can show you now that the temperature in here went, as you can see on there, I don't know whether you can see clearly, but the temperature went between, let me just see if I can get you a view here, between 36 and -6.2. So 36 degrees, nice and warm, -6. I think the chilies are definitely gonna give up with that type of temperature. So if you, like me, you're looking for a way to overwinter your chilies, advice is keep them somewhere warm, between about, I would say between 15 and 20 or the lowest they should go is 10. And I'm just saying that based on what I've seen. I've all of the varieties of chilies I had here, which here I had about 10 different varieties that I actually liked. I've actually took 10 of those chilies and taken them home, kept them put them in new compost, wash the roots first, keep them in new compost, and they're doing really, really well. Each and every one of the plants that I have at home have already started sprouting new shoots, which every sort of 2 weeks I go with a pair of scissors and just snip them off to just keep them dormant just a while longer. And come, let's say, March, I can then start to let them actually like start up again. Because what I want to do is like by end of April, when it's going to be slightly warmer, I'll put a new plastic on this and I might then start to bring them back in here. Other than that, what I've learned is also to make sure that when you do put them in new compost, wash off the roots first, okay? And you can even trim the roots, it doesn't matter. It just helps them actually stay alive and stay dormant. Okay, so what am I doing with this now is I'm gonna pull up these dead plants, and what I will then do is recycle this manure that these chilies were growing in. So what I've learned is that you cannot actually like overwinter chilies in an unheated polytunnel. If you got any advice on what I should do next year, other than actually still taking them home, please feel free to actually like drop a comment in the comment section. And thank you very much for watching. And we will actually like show you now the progress of our garlic. Now, what I've actually like always thought is at this point in time, in sort of 10th of January, if my garlics are up to about, let's say, 10 centimeters, I call that success. Okay. If they are lower, that's still fine, but I call that success because there have been years where I've put my garlic in a little bit too late, and the bulbs only got to very, very small size, almost kind of like plum size. But last year I got really, really good garlic, which were almost the size of my normal onions, and they were really, 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 really garlicky. So okay, now let's quickly go and look at those garlic and see how they're doing. So I'm just quickly gonna grab the camera and then we can walk over there to the other side of the allotment. Okay, so let me just unhook my camera from here. Right, if we walk to the gate, I've got about 6 beds right at the gate here. There's gonna be more. If you've been watching my channel, you know I'm always adding beds to my allotment wherever there's space. Okay, this is a small bed that I've put in some garlic. This went in after the Christmas holiday, like maybe about the 27th. And as I can see, the little shoots are starting to come up. Okay. One advice is that never bury your garlic bulb. So what I've done here is like I made a hole, put them in, and over time the hole is actually filled up with a little bit of compost, but I have not actually like buried them. That actually make the garlic come up really, really quickly, and this garlic here is doing really, really well. Now this is the one that I put in much earlier, and I would estimate that this is between, let's say, 7 maybe 10 centimeter. and it's doing really well. All the garlics look really healthy and happy. Okay, so this is this bed here. Okay, we've got a bed here that I've put the garlic in much earlier than that. So I think this was end of November. And the garlic here is about 15 centimeters. So that's much bigger than the one that went in around the 15th of December. Okay. And the other two beds do not have garlic in them. We've got this bed here. Again, these two beds are about a week apart. And as you can see, if those are like about 15 centimeter, these are more like about 10 centimeters. Okay. So let's go through. Oh, that's our compost, still on the top, still doing really well. Breaking down, that's organic horse manure. Right, so here we've got another garlic that went in end of November, and again is doing really well. So some of these garlics are very close to 20 centimeters, and they are doing well. They're well spaced, so they're doing well on that. And on this side we've got onions. They are okay. I would say they're doing well, because normally they look like this up until about sort of end of February, March, and then they start to take off. So since they are all up, they are doing really fine. Okay. I then have these two beds here. This is the one I put in December. Okay. These are red onions, and they are all up, and they seem to be doing well. So I'm really happy about that, because red onions are really difficult to grow. I've tried them 2 years, maybe 3 years in a row, and I got mixed results. So fingers crossed on that. This is the bed where I've got elephant garlic, I've got normal organic garlic, and again, there's a bit of mixed result. The garlic here on this side of the bed, where I put this in late, by late I mean very close to Christmas. And those garlic, and the garlic at the end of that bed, they all went in about end of November. And the reason that I don't have a specific just one date is because sometimes what I will do is I'll come around and start to put the seeds in, and I'll run out, and then I'll order the next batch. And what I then found is that sometimes I order the next batch and they do show up a week later, and I'll then put them in. Overall, the allotment is doing really well. There's still a lot to do. On each side of the allotment, as I come into the allotment, there's still a lot of space. I mean, this little bed here, I really want to replace this small bed with like a large one here. So this side of the allotment will be sectioned up by large beds. Okay, and since I've taken the walkway away, you could see that there's kind of like a little dip into that. That is going to be all sort of like filled in nicely with wood chips, which I do every sort of like few weeks when I come around. And yeah, so far we're happy with the progress. And thank you very much for watching.